all eyes this weekend focused on Detroit, with a government deadline looming for a restructuring plan. The nation's largest automaker, General Motors, heading down the road toward an almost certain bankruptcy filing on Monday. Its stock closed at 75 cents a share yesterday. Now, that's less than the cost of a donut at most coffee shops. CBS News correspondent Kelly Wallace reports.
The new Motoramic Chevrolet.
General Motors brought us some of the most popular cars of generations past. Its future now hinging on whether it exits bankruptcy stronger, leaner, and profitable at a time when U.S. car sales are at their lowest level in 27 years. Under the bankruptcy plan, the government gets a more than 70% stake in the new company, bondholders 10%, and the United Auto Workers nearly 20%. Yesterday, union members agreed to dramatic concessions, such as reductions in retiree benefits to keep GM afloat.
We are satisfied that we've done the right thing here to give us a lifeline at General Motors.
The vote comes before an expected bankruptcy protection filing in New York on Monday. The same day, anxious workers could learn which of the 14 plants around the country will close, eliminating 21,000 jobs. 4 GM brands are expected to go away or be sold, while 4 will remain, including Chevrolet and Cadillac.
In total, the government's loaning GM $50 billion. Analysts say the more quickly the company cruises out of bankruptcy, the greater the chance of success. Kelly Wallace, CBS News, New York.
Now, there are a lot of players in this GM bankruptcy drama, including the bondholders, the auto workers, and of course you, the American taxpayer. So who will win and who will lose when the dust settles? Here to help us sort it out, Jill Schlesinger, editor-at-large at CBSMoneyWatch.com. Always good to have you here because you do make this a lot more understandable for us.
We're going to try.
So ultimately, there will be winners and losers. Let's start with the bondholders because they got a lot of attention this week when they initially said, no, we're not doing this deal.
Exactly. Remember, a bondholder is someone who's lent money to the company, has a contract, wants to get repaid. The unsecured bondholders were holding out for a bigger position. The thought was, hey, you know, we're going to get wiped out. We want more. And the problem here is that I believe there are actually some winners in the bondholder position.
Why?
There are some big corporations that went out and bought bonds at pennies on the dollar. They're going to make money in this, I promise you. Then there are the bondholders who are like the little old lady who has a brokerage account. She's going to get wiped out. So I think that on the net, many of these bondholders are going to be just fine.
Right.
Unfortunately, 20% of the bondholders that are individuals,
the little people,
they're going to be bad.
That's not what people want to hear.
No, sorry.
When it comes to the unions, winner or loser?
I think the union is actually a loser because the union's power has been diminished, and that's really going to be a long-term effect. The union made a good decision, though. They said, okay, are we going to fight for lots more benefits of a company that ends up going broke, or are we going to take what we can get from a company that stays in place? They chose the latter, but they're going to be losing because they've lost power.
And ultimately, workers, too, are really at play here. Before we get to them, though, GM competitors, I know everybody's watching them closely. Foreign automakers, winner, I guess.
Hugest winner. Toyota, Honda, going to definitely be a winner here for sure.
And looking back at those workers, the ripple effect here, the numbers go as high as 3 million people beyond GM, suppliers. Big losers, unfortunately.
Yes, and dealerships. So all those folks, losers. And by the way, GM's going to reduce workforce by another third in the next 2 years. So this is a terrible human price to pay for this bankruptcy.
It's huge, and it's heartbreaking, really, in so many respects. The American taxpayer, who has really funded so much of this and is going to be funding a lot more. But are we going to make any money off this deal? No.
Government says that by 2013, we're getting our money back. And I got to say, I love the government, but that is real rosy outlook. I think there's a very big possibility that the U.S. taxpayer is a big loser because not only do we have to come out of bankruptcy, we have to get GM to be profitable and then give us our $70 billion back. That's a real long shot at this point. So we're propping them up for a good reason, which is middle of a recession, don't want this big ripple effect.
Right.
But it doesn't mean we're getting our money back. Doesn't mean it was a great investment.
Don't look for the check in the mail is what you're saying. Someone who will get a check, though, I'm guessing, all the lawyers involved.
Oh, God bless the lawyers. And, you know, bankruptcy is a lengthy process. It's going to take a few months. It's going to be a while. And even when they get out of it, then GM's is going to still be held as a private company. They're not going to go public again. Then they're going to have to go public. So lawyers make out. And, you know, the bankruptcy lawyers have waited a whole economic cycle to be in the news again. So good for them.
There you go. I like the positive spin on that.
Exactly.
Jill, always good to have you here.
Thanks a lot.